What's up, Blue Chips? How we doing? Monday morning, February 3rd. What's Vincenzo got to say here? Transparency is the physical property of allowing light to pass through the material without appreciable scattering the light. VT is our transparent light through the darkness of the markets. And then there's pepperoni and cheese. Appreciate that, Vincenzo. We do try to be nice and transparent here. And starting us off here, Monday, February 3rd, invest in yourself and your ideas. Let's get to it. What's wrong? Sorry. What's wrong, bud? Give me 1 second. I just noticed that. I was messing around with backgrounds. Hold on. Give me 1 second. So gonna regret letting him play with Play-Doh this morning. Oh, man. I need to start taking a shower in the morning instead of at night. Beard's always all over the place. So what I was saying is, what was I saying? Oh, the background. Yeah, apparently that was still on. So when I had my green screen up, I was messing around with some backgrounds, and I guess I never turned it off. And you could see those little bricks there when I had put the saying of the day up there. So let's take a look at what we have. What happened here? Am I on? I messed that up, huh? Crappers. I'm going to have to change that back. Give me 1 sec here. Filters, 0, right, 200, sorry. I changed this for the Friday Night Live stream, but I didn't realize I had duplicated it or referenced it instead of duplicated it. So now I have to set it back up here. There we go. That's almost perfect. There we go. Shouldn't look as funny now. So hopefully everybody had a good weekend. This silly BIMI is going off in my ear. Had some okay volume come in there. Got about 5 minutes here to the bell. We obviously won't be playing this. It's a lower float anyway. I did save my scanners to only be 15 plus, so we won't be looking at anything that isn't 20 plus anyways. So I remember I had told you guys about writing your edge down in your journal. And I kind of skimmed back through watching the Friday Night Live stream and realized that I didn't show you. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I didn't. But, yeah, back here on January 31st, as you can see, the day before was January 30th. But I went through and I just titled it, What is My Edge? And my strategy in a nutshell is this simple. So I mean, I'll read it off to you. So I'm looking for plus or minus 20 on one of the I3 scans. While looking at that, let me go to the one with the scanners here. So basically, I need it to pop up in gold because that would mean it's 20 plus. Because if you go to menu, that's when it alerts us when it exceeds 20. No, you're not opening multiple colors, bud. Just one. So then I'm looking for the float to be over 40 mil. So as you can see, this is 3 mil. In the next update with the scanners, he is going to have a float filter. So I will be able to eliminate the noise of anything that is under what I'm looking for. The next thing is I'm looking for volume that's moving into the stock. So if I have a stock that's like BIMI here, and you see that the volume's not, we're going to say these are like 98,000. I mean, well, no, because that would actually be pretty good volume. But if you get volume moving into the stock as it's making the move, like you can see this is much more volume than it's had previously. That's kind of what we're looking for. Obviously not in the pre-market, but this is actually a decent example of what we're looking for. So the next one would be check the length of the intense move. So the move started right here at 465. If we were looking to enter at, say, 530, that would be 70 cents. So then we would go up to our scanner screen. We made a new chart here, as you can see me kind of circling through here. So I'm looking at the move. So if the move was 70 cents, with our 2 entry system, that would mean our first share size, or our first lot of share size, would be 35 shares. So we would look to enter at 35 shares, and then if we wanted to add, which would probably be, say, like through the $0.50, we would look to add our other 35 shares. And then going back up to the scanner screen, hold on, I actually have to open this up. Oh, crap, where is it? One sec. Don't lose our train of thought here. Put that back. I didn't realize I must have closed this out over the weekend. Do this. And then that. Okay. So if we go back up to our scanner screen, sorry about that, you'll see up here towards the top, I have everything set in stone. So if I took 35 shares and I took it twice, that would mean I have 70 shares. So that would mean my move to either get 1R either way off my average is 36 cents. So now all I have to do is go up to that chart, look at my average, subtract and add 36 cents, put in a range order, and that's the trade. Either it works or it doesn't. And that's it. The last 3 lines are saying if I do only get 1 entry, say I did get in around that 530 area and then it just started dropping right away, I would only look to get half of that 36 cents. So I would only look to get, what is that, 18 cents. And then 2 entries, I go for 1R, and then the last line just says max risk is always 1R. So that's my edge, guys. That's my strategy. That's all I'm looking for. What is this? You gonna make some vegetables? Vegetables? Good morning, Tim. How are you? Listen, I have a question about how to set up DOS PLT platform. So the question is, how do I link montage and time and sales and charts to each other? Couldn't find it in YouTube. Yeah, Jeff actually just answered that underneath. So up here on the montage itself, see this little anchor? Oh, I guess I gotta go back. There we go. So we're on the montage here. Up top right of the montage, you see the little anchor. Just left click on it and drag it. So click and hold and then drag it to the time and sales, the chart, whatever you want to link it to. And that's how you link everything. Giovanni, what's going on, man? How you doing? Got about 15 seconds here till the bell. Good luck, everybody. See if we can't make some money today. I got 2 of these left. Put some balls in my mouth right here at the bell. There's the bell. Let's get it. So obviously BIMI we're not going to be trading. Don't really have anything else to look at. I did have PCG up on my other chart, but that thing is kind of usually all over the place. We'll see what it wants to do. VXRT. We don't have any shares there on VXRT. The range isn't that great. This thing has a ton of volume this morning, though. INSM. It looks like it could be a buyout. What do we got? TAL. Whoa. All right, here we go. This is a huge move. This thing is whippy. See if we can get through that 5350 area again. This thing has some room on the daily here. Looking over real quick. 56 is that, or actually we're at that. It's 54. Very spready. There we go. Man, look at this thing. All right, we're gonna start this. 54.88 is what we got. There we go. We're coming down. So with only 10 shares, I don't even have that one on my chart because I didn't get that low because I only have 20. So it would actually be 6 or 70 cents is what we'd be looking for. But we're going to have to play this one off the P&L. Jeez, look at this thing go. It went right to that 56 area, right back down. Didn't really give us a chance. I mean, we could have added there, but the spread was 50 cents. There we go. We're playing this one off the P&L, so we're looking for 12.50. All right. We're gonna take it there because again, we're just looking for that 1R, and we did pop right back up. So we were playing that right off the P&L, guys, because I didn't really have a way to set that in. So we'll take our 1 entry, 1 exit there. PCG is actually making a move here. Let's go right over to that. I didn't see PCG pop up on the scanner though, so we're gonna kind of let it be. Just kind of watching TAL to see what it did or does, and that just goes to show you guys, we just made our 0.5R on 10 shares. Everything is relative. It doesn't matter the share size that you're using as long as it's relative to the way the stock's moving. So always keep that in mind. MAXR. I've always wanted to play MAXR. This thing makes some good moves, and we never have shares on it. It's very frustrating, especially even though it's a 59 mil float. It's not huge, but we almost got the bottom there on TAL as far as right now. Oh, there it goes. It's finally trying to break that 53 area. But I figured if it was anywhere near half that move down, it was nice. So, yeah, dang, there it goes. That thing, like, really extended itself. I'm glad we obviously waited because we would have got stopped out if we didn't wait. But we'll take the nice trade there. Obviously, we want more. ACM. So, PCG, it has a nice move here. But it is not popping on the intensity scanner. Oh, there it is. 16.8. Let's see if it gets through 17, it might give it to us. So let's see, 40, 60 cents, 50. So we'd look to take 50 shares through 17. Thank you. All right, so PCG's not giving us what we want. Marketing, what's going on, man? Yeah, TAL, man, that thing dropped. That thing was so whippy. Oh, that's not what I wanted. The PCG obviously didn't give us what we wanted. Nothing else is really moving that we're interested in. Everything on the minus I3 scan as well. Everything's a little bit lower float. Oh, thank you. Is that for me? Oh, thank you. You already know that I'm not opening it. No, thank you. TAL kept on going too. ARAY is a bigger float here. We do have shares. Let's see, looking at the daily. Be nice to see this get up towards 450. Thank you. Thank you. Kim, I am not opening these. I honestly don't trust you with them. So it looks like everything kind of slowed down pretty quickly. Have EROS up on my other screen. This is on the minus I3, 85 mil in the float. The range isn't that great. Move started 35. That's really not that big. We'd like to see a more intense move down towards 210. See if we can't get a nice little flush down towards 2 here. ARAY just has pretty much no volume. CLSD, I know we don't have any shares there. GDT just made he made 6 times his quota, so we know everyone probably knows that he shoots for $100 a day on that TAL. Probably means he might have been a little bit heavy on the share size. Looking at his chart, he started pretty much in the same spot as me, but then he actually got the ad up over, or well, at 56. Where I didn't get that ad. I should have. I don't know why I didn't, to be completely honest. I think the reason I didn't is because I was kind of questioning if it decided to keep going, I was going to have to stop out anyway with just my single entry. So that's kind of why I think I was a little bit hesitant there. And the spread was also like 50 cents. So that was kind of why I stayed away from the ad for a second there. And then by the time I would have even had a chance to think about it, it shot back down. And then we were just playing the P&L there because I didn't have a set amount to take for 10 shares. But it was, I think, 75 cents, which we obviously got more than that. We ended up getting about $1.30 per share on that. Actually, it was $1.37 per share, to be exact, because we only had 10 shares. Still watching EROS here. I'll actually put that up on the main screen because that's really all that there is that I'm watching. What is this? ASRT. No range there. CLSD, we know we don't have any shares. VXRT, we don't have any shares. Everything else is a little bit lower float. We're not getting that move from EROS that we were looking for. We were looking for this to dump down towards 2, just to use the whole dollar as some possible resistance or support, sorry. But we didn't get it. CBay, I'm pretty sure we have shares there. We've traded that in the past. No range though. Looks like, man, this thing died off. NIO moving again today. This thing always has so much volume. SALT, salt. We got here some volume out of nowhere. Right at this key area 4 or 380 is kind of where this could get held down. If not, it wouldn't really be till about 425. This isn't really that big of a move either. For us to be interested in this, I'd love to see it shoot up on the same candle up towards 4, but I don't think that's going to happen. Put our share size in just in case. NNVC, I believe NNVC is a low float, right? Jeff, $1.50, that a boy. Always got to one-up me. Yeah, NNVC is a 2.74 mil float, so I would be personally staying away from that. I mean, I can take a look at the chart to see. The chart does not look very good at all. I mean, look at the daily. If that doesn't scream low float this past week or two, I don't know what does. So just watching SALT here. It's really the only thing that I saw pop up that would be worth watching. Again, we're still waiting for anything to come up off the scanner, just like TAL did this morning. If you guys are just tuning in, Tim here, Volatility Trading. We did get one trade so far this morning here on TAL. Nice intense move right out of the gate. Was way up there on the scanners. I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and look at how high it got, but for a $50 stock, it was going. And assuming, I don't know why, but we were coming up right to that resistance up here around 57, but it really felt like it was topping there at 55. We were looking to add if it got through 56. It did get through 56, but the spread was about 50 cents. And if it did shoot up to that 57 area, we were going to have to stop anyways, just on our single entry. So that was why I didn't add right there, because if I would have been taking a 50-cent spread, we pretty much would have had to stop out right after taking the entry. It would have made no sense because the ask was over 56, but I don't believe the bid ever got through 56. So that was why we didn't jump in with the ad up there. So the only other thing that we have up is SALT as of right now, and that doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Let's pull up, as you can see, TAL is now climbing again. CTLT, nothing there. VXRT, we already know we can't play that. Dang, everybody got some TAL and ISW. Literally. Let me pull this down and show you guys. Jeff just posted his. This is Scott's. Here's B. I posted mine. There's mine. Here's GDT's. And here's VIX. That was like all of us nailed TAL. That's crazy. It's the beauty of the chat room. We're all thinking alike. Over time, we see the same things over and over again, so it never gets old. Oh, don't forget about Cons. Look at this top tick. That a boy, Cons. Look at this. He got it over 56 on his first entry and covered down at 53.50. You savage. That a boy, Cons. $2.50 a share. Get out of here. So happy for you, Cons. If you're in here, by the way, hopefully you are, because I don't think I could remake that reaction I just had. That was just pure excitement. So SALT is going slow, not really doing anything. Looks like BIMI is trying to break out here for all the breakout traders. There's some people probably trying to jump into this at the moment, looking for this to break that high of day at 568, high of intraday. Nice. Sorry. I'm just getting a little excited. Everyone is killing TAL. One of our traders that doesn't really like to go shorty, he's more of a long bias trader. He got TAL on this dip and wrote it back up. I mean, that just goes to show you guys. Amazing. Constantine, was that a live trade? Or because I know you said you were thinking about sticking the demo for a little bit, even though you had finally got CMEG's account live. Like, was that a real money trade? EPC. So this did hit the scanner just briefly. Let's see, the move was here, 27. Let's say down here, 27. We're up at 28, so 1 point, so 25 shares. 25 shares, we would need 50 cents. So that would be about right. It got to 28 and 19, so the spread here is not that great. The volume isn't particularly great either. See if we can't get one more little push up through high a day. It's right at a pretty key area here on the daily though. 27, yeah, like right. It just got through it a little bit. It's kind of holding here though. To wait and see what this does. Just being patient here with EPC. Not a huge fan of the volume. That was a nice move, but as I'm looking at earlier, it did the same thing, right? It went up, made a pretty much a similar move, about a point. This was about a point as well. And then it kind of just consolidated and went higher. And if it wants to do that again, I think we might be interested. But if not, I'm not sure I feel that comfortable with this one. Even though the premise is it will probably come down and try to test this 2750 area before continuing. That would be the idea behind it. Thinking about trying this at full size and then just risking off high a day. I'm going to let it go though here. It keeps getting bought up. It got bought up twice. as it tried to get under 28. We're going to see what it wants to do here. See if it gives us that push towards high of day. If it wants to go back through 28 like it's trying right now and actually go through that 27.90 area that it's struggling with, then oh well. We'll just have to miss this trade. It's not really the trade I like. Again, we just talked about volume, and this doesn't really have the volume that we're looking for. So unless it gives us a really nice extension, which this to me isn't exactly what we're looking for, we'll just let it go. Boom, Constantine. So I just saw that you said it was a live one. Was that literally your first trade? I don't get spoiled, but you already know that. I don't think that's going to happen every trade. That thing was an immediate gratification. Mr. Gifford brought up IQ. It's not hitting the scanners. It actually has a pretty big float. That might be why. 314 mil. Has good volume. It's getting extended. EPC just doesn't feel like it wants to fall. If it does, though, if it gets through that 27.90, it might go straight to 27.50. Yep, there's the jump up. Would have got stopped out if we jumped in. So I read that right. Sometimes you just got to step back for a second and kind of read the chart a little bit better. Every candle tells a little bit of a story. The question is this a fake out, or is it going to actually extend itself a little bit? Volume's not really coming into it. I was just informed that Tesla is over $700, and it is. Yikes. Remember back when it was under $200 and I said I wish I had money to get some? Wouldn't it be nice? Even if you only took one share, then you'd still be up $50. That's crazy on one share. Imagine just taking 100 shares of Tesla right then. It's what, 10 grand? It's crazy. Yeah, it was a little bit of a fake out there on EPC. Yeah, I've told everybody that CMEG is pretty good with their executions. As long as it's there on the level 2, they're pretty good with the executions. Man, Tesla is ripping. How many accounts are just blowing up right now on Tesla? Take a look at this. We missed EPC there. I just didn't like the way the volume was, but I mean, Tesla is just saying bye-bye to so many accounts. Take a look at the daily here. I have it up on both charts here, but actually, oh, I can't do that. That's right. Look at this daily, just gapping up. And the amount of people that are trying to short this thing they're just getting blown out of the water. Just absolutely nuts. I got you, Constantine. Yeah. So I guess you went pretty even smaller share size than I did. But there's no shame in that at all. It's all relative. Over 710. I mean, this could just be margin call city, right? Just as it keeps climbing, people just keep getting margin calls. So they have to buy, which is just creating a short squeeze from hell. I mean, again, look at the daily. This is the biggest candle that we've seen pretty much on this whole move, minus down here. This is absolutely nuts. and it's after it already gapped up. It closed at 646, opened at 673. So you're not even seeing that. I mean, imagine this candle starting all the way down here at 646. The candle is huge. Can you imagine if this gets to 746? From Friday afternoon, it could go up 100 points. Insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, it's fun to watch, man. People keep doubting Tesla. I don't know why. I mean, they have technology that no one else has. And on top of that, why would you root against a company like Tesla? And a lot of people do it because they just don't like Elon. But whatever. Dude's a genius. What do I use the negative I3 scan for? It's basically the same thing, just opposite of the plus I3 scan. So like right now, VXRT is going off on there. So see how it's making an intense move to the downside? That's all it is. Instead of the plus I3 scan making a move to the upside, looking to short, the minus I3 scan is making an intense move to the downside, and you're looking to scoop it up or go long. So it's really just preference. I'm just more of a short bias trader, so that's why I tend to use the plus I3 scan a little bit more. But the minus I3 scan is designed to do the exact same thing, just in the opposite direction. So that's all that is. Sorry, guys. I just got my popcorn out looking at the Tesla trade here today. It's fun to watch. EPC didn't really do anything anyway. It's kind of still just chilling there. Obviously, we would have been right. We wouldn't have been out of this trade yet. We would have needed down closer to 2750. So we would just kind of be chilling in this thing. But it does look like it wants to try that 2750 area again. But we're just kind of sitting here watching Tesla at the moment. If this can't get back through 710, this is going to be dangerous. This is going to be real dangerous. Because that's like no pullback. I mean, that's just like the ultimate, like I'm going straight up. I mean, look at this. This was an ascending triangle. And I usually don't say that after a para-type move that you see ascending triangles. But I mean, this is an ascending triangle. I mean, look at how perfect that looks. And I mean, technical patterns do work. And it's because everyone's looking at the same thing. And if that doesn't look like an ascending triangle to you, then I don't know what does. Some people might call that a bull flag, which is fine. I don't really use flags. I see triangles, and that's definitely an ascending triangle. And this thing didn't even get down. What was the lowest it got? 712, basically. Crazy. I just want to see Tesla just rip to like 750. How awesome would that be? No problem, Mr. Gifford. Yeah, so I found out, I totally thought that I had my stream on low latency, but apparently it's not. It's on normal latency, so that's why I'm a little bit delayed, by the way. So sorry for that, but there's really not much I can do about it. There it goes. High of day. Told you it'd be dangerous if it didn't get under 710. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Oh, crazy. You know who I didn't see this morning was Tom. Go check in on him. I knew something was missing this morning. Look at Tesla. Holy bejesus. Uh-oh. Brian just entered Tesla on the short side. Don't tell anybody. He said he's doing it really slow, and he is looking for a possible swing out of it, so. I mean, granted, that was the biggest candle of the day. That was definitely a pretty big squeeze, and we are getting pretty extended right now, but not for me. Not for me. I mean, granted, what one share? I would only need to get down to 714 with one share. Now I would like if I were to get in over 730, I would only need to get down to 718. One share, and I can make half of an R. One share. That's crazy. And it's very doable. This thing is just dangerous. Kenobi. I love it. This is crazy. Brian said, "You guys getting excited about Tesla makes me want to push the button more." I mean, it is true, right? The idea is to buy fear and sell euphoria. So it's in a very euphoric state right now. So that's the idea. It's just way too pricey for me and just not something I'm interested in. So even though I could trade it, I could technically trade it, but this thing I just don't like the territory. I mean, we're obviously at all-time highs. This thing has had nothing but good news lately. I just don't want to tempt fate. Oh, sorry. We're just having a little bit of fun in there. I can't even realistically get in with one share considering the risk here. The problem with Tesla is just one tweet or whatever can ramp up the price. I mean, it's true, but again, it's all relative, right? If you take one share, for me to go down my 1R with one share, it would have to go another 25 points. So if I would have got in over at 730, this would have had to ramp all the way up past through 750 for me to get stopped out. And I mean, obviously it could happen, especially the way this thing's moving. But the odds are it's not going to do that. It's going to do what it's doing now. When it gets that extended, you're most likely going to get a pullback before it tries to continue. I mean, you're going to run out of buyers. I mean, at what point do retail traders run out of money to where you can't really push this thing that much higher? I mean, the only people that can really push this thing that much higher are investment banks or, prop firms, the people with real money. Because retail traders, even if you have a couple $1 million in your account, I mean, you can't really move a stock like Tesla that far, not with this type of volume coming in. So as you can see, it went right down to this previous resistance at 720. We'll see what it wants to do here. But you guys know I always like to say, if this thing's really strong, when it does get through a previous resistance, the odds are it will at least come down and test that before it decides to continue. Brian's like, Tesla, money on the way. I mean, he said he was starting the position at what time? 10:03. So right around where it's at now. So if obviously he added into this, he's already in the green. He's looking for the bigger push. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Oh, and there went Tesla. That EPC trade that we could have been in, still just chilling. We'd still be in it, but it looks like it's a descending triangle, so it's looking pretty good. But as you can see, guys, Tesla, it's no different than any other stock. You get super extended. It's what we're looking for. Literally could have jumped in with one share and we would be out for our half hour if we only got one entry. So it just goes to show you that even a stock like Tesla on a huge bull run that's squeezing out of nowhere, as long as you're waiting for your entries, it's no different than any other stock. And the price is the price, right? I could have took one share and made what I was looking to make on that trade. And look at it go. That thing is just, I'm waiting to see Brian's chart because I know that if he hasn't taken any, he's taking some now. By the way, when can I see the trade reports for the day with CMEG? Seems that commissions are not properly reflected in DOS. Yes, if it does the same with Mecons every night, so you're probably going to have to wait till tomorrow morning because they process it overnight. So tomorrow morning, go into, I'll just give you the link. I don't know if you have this link or not. But if you ever want to check your reports, use that link that I just posted in the chat to check it the next day. And that gives you anything that you would need to see on your account. By the way, if you are new here, Tim, Volatility Trading, that's my name. That's the channel name. Feel free to like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Always appreciate the support. It helps out the channel grow and all that good stuff. Try to attract as many people away from the other gurus that aren't being truthful and transparent, because that's what we're all about here, is truthfulness and transparency. Where's Vincenzo when you need him to really hammer that in? Really not too much else to look at. EPC was really the only other thing that was worth looking at. Just didn't like the volume on it. Brian said RDUS is worth looking at. I did not see this on the scanner. What is the float here? $46 mil, so not bad. So I would still like to see it. Oh, EROS. Let's take a look at that. That's on SSR. Range isn't that great. We'll pull up RDUS. Actually, it looks like Brian left. He had to do the old bus driver stuff. He calls it daddy bus. So we have this up. Obviously not interested unless it wants to hit the scanner. EROS we're not interested in because it's on short sale restriction, otherwise known as SSR. So we're not really interested there. RDUS is in an interesting spot on the daily. Scroll out a little bit. Tons of resistance here. Tons of support to act as resistance. It's a pretty key area for this thing. Got up to 2017. The move actually started down here, 1850, so $1.50. That'd be 15 shares. Need a that's a lot. That's a lot to ask for. We would need 50 cents. It tried once and got bought back up. The volume on this isn't that great, which is probably why it hadn't hit the scanner. Just to give you guys another example real quick, I'm going to move RDUS down here just to keep an eye on it. But what was the one that we were just looking at on the other chart? Whoops. Oh, EROS. So this isn't something I would play, but let's kind of see what this does, right? Look how this almost looks just like the Tesla trade, right? We're just getting super extended away from that VWAP. We went through some previous resistance here, or at least a decent area at the 250 mark. So my thought process is, and we're getting ready to run into the high of day from Friday, which is where it opened. And that's also looks like support and resistance 270, 280. So that 280 mark is just huge resistance, right? So the thought process behind this would be to start an entry here. If you are going to add up through that 280 area, looking for it to be a fake out. And if it's not, then you were just wrong. But the odds are this thing's going to come back down and try to test this 250 area because it's so extended. I personally have rules where I don't play stocks that are on SSR. That's why I'm not getting into this. But in most cases, pretty much, I would say more often than not, you're still going to get the same kind of action out of it. I just don't play them because it lowers my edge. Think of it as if you were going to play blackjack, or just say the roulette, and you're getting 50-50 red and black, even though it's not, it's like 49 point whatever because of the green, the 0 and 00. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'll help you fix it. There you go. Whee. What's wrong? What are you asking for? I don't know what you're asking for, bud. Show me. No? Okay. Yes. The cars? I don't see any other cars over here. That's all the cars. This? This? I'm saying this? Whoa. Is this what you were talking about? How about we move this right here? And I can put this here. How about we move this down here? Turn the table like this. Hold on. Guy's gonna make it for you real quick. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec, sorry. I still have the train of thought in my head. Uh-oh. That needs the other pieces. Whoa, we got a track going? Yeah, we got the track going. why you keep picking that card. It doesn't fit. Let me see this one. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Whee! It's hard to pass up your 2-year-old wanting to play with the Hot Wheels. Whee! Good job. I think that car is just a little too big. Oh, it worked! Yay! All right. So here was my train of thought. As you can see, it is pulling back just like I thought. It's kind of forming a descending triangle here on EROS. What's the question here? If RDUS wanted to jump towards 21, I might be interested. Yep, very true. Does have some solid resistance there. Not too much else going on here this morning, guys. That's kind of why I had no issue getting up to go help him with that, but I would have got up to do that anyway, so that always comes first. And Charlie, by the way, if you're still here, hello. I saw you jump in earlier. I was, I think, in the middle of trading TAL when you had jumped in here. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Here you go. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. Hey, watch this. Ready? Set. Crossing tracks. You crossing the tracks? All right. If you are new here as well, I'm going to post a link to the Discord in the chat. Feel free to join that. Most likely going to get out of here pretty soon. There's really nothing going on. So pointless to kind of sit here, and I'll actually move the scanners back down to 10, see if, just so that they might show something if you guys want to kind of pull them up to take a look-see, but apparently there's nothing at 10 on the plus I3 scan. Minus I3 scan popped up a little something. ZM was kind of there. Yeah, it's making a little bit of a move. That's a higher price stock. Don't have any shares there, though. Anyways. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to chime in before we get out of here. I'm most likely, I'll wait until like 10:35 because there are sometimes we get those moves around that time. volume kind of just died off here on EROS. That would be a little frustrating because if we did get in for whatever reason, that's the only other issue with SSR is people can't just hammer the bid to get short. So even though the shares are available, you have to put your shares up on the ask to get short. So it's a little bit frustrating because you can't get filled a lot of the times unless you get filled on the way up. So there's really no way to hammer this thing back down. The only way to get it back down is people that are long that are looking to sell their position. Devin with a nice trade here on INSM. I don't know how he trades looking at these charts, but looks like a solid trade. In a little under 28. Looks like got out most of it a little bit above 27.50, out more around the whole $1.27, and then the rest around 27.50 again. So that's a nice trade. All better. AVXL. Nothing there. NIO to 430. NIO is weird. I traded NIO. I have. And let me show you. The day that I traded it was literally the first day it opened. Down goes RDUS. That was really bad. I should be ashamed. I made that move up towards 21 for you. Did you get it? I never saw a pop-up on the scanner, so I wasn't really interested. What do you say? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I see. Why do you keep... It's almost like you're doing it on purpose. So Daddy doesn't even know how this goes on. So if there's anything to take away from today, fellow traders, it's I didn't let the stock itself scare me, right? the only processing I had to do in my head on the trade that we took today, TAL, was figuring out our entry size to get in. So this thing started all the way down here, 49. It made a move all the way up to 56.37, but we got in at 55. So it was a 6-point move. Technically, we probably got in too heavy, right? But I did the math in my head real quick, and I told myself, because I looked at the daily and I saw there was some resistance sitting there at 56, 57, that if we got in at 55, if it wanted to go up to 57 with 10 shares, that would be $20, right? And our max, our 1R right now is $25. So that was what I was telling myself. So I was looking to jump in with the 10 shares, and it was already so extended. So that was why I did what I did, and used 10 shares instead of, say, like 5 or whatever. But even though it looks like if we would have used 5, we still would have hit our goal, because it came down far enough to give us that. But that was a big portion of the move, looking for it to come back down. But needless to say, I'm pretty stoked with how I played that, and I was never in too big. We could have got an ad, but I told you why I didn't get the ad. I was kind of risking the fact that if it did pop up to 57, we were going to have to look to stop out. And it got up to 56.37. I think it was like, it would have been like 57. Let me see. 54.88 was our, so what's 54.88 plus 250? So 57.38 is where it would have had to get for us to get stopped out. So I was kind of fearful that not fearful, but I didn't want what happened last week to happen again. So I was giving it some room. And when it popped through 56, I never saw the opportunity to hit the bid above 56. So maybe I missed it. It was happening. It was whipsawing pretty quickly, but it looked like a constant 40, 50 cent spread when I was watching it. So we didn't get our ad there, and it just jumped right back down pretty much, and it just continued to fall over. So that was why we didn't get our ad up there towards 56, is because I just didn't see the opportunity, and it ended up working out. So buy fear, sell euphoria. It's that simple. And again, let's go through our checklist. The plus minus 20 on the I3 scan, it was there, especially for a $50 stock. The float was over 40 mil. Let's see what the float was. I think it was like 80 something. It was actually way bigger than I thought, 379 mil. So that's crazy that it made this kind of move with that big of a float. Volume was moving the stock, obviously. We got over 1 million on the first 2-minute candle. We checked the length of the intense move. So I did do this, and like I said, I looked up at my chart, and the highest I went was 2 points for a move, which technically was right here, and I have that set to 10 shares. And this went double that. But again, when I was looking to enter, I was looking at the daily, looking at resistance over there, so I gauged it based off of that and knew that if I took 10 shares at 55, if it wanted to get up to 57, we would look to stop out for a 1-hour loss. So we gave it room, believe it or not. The only thing that we could have did a little bit better was tried to wait until it popped up a little bit more, but it felt like it was stalling around that 55 area when we jumped in, so I was pretty happy with that. We took our risk, divided it by the length of the move. Obviously, that was the one rule that we may have broken, but technically that was something I adjusted in the moment based off of the daily resistance as well as what the remaining part of the move could have been. So this is a little bit of an abnormality type of trade just because of the type of move this thing made. This was a pretty intense move. So I'm going to just kind of shake, that was definitely an experienced rule break, if that makes sense. It wasn't a rule to break to put us in harm's way. It was more of we broke the rules just because of the stock made a move that was impossible to resist, as well as it was just a bigger move than we expected. But it happened all at once, and we played it perfect. To me, I think we played this. We couldn't have played it any more perfect. We looked at the daily. We realized with 10 shares, our 1R would have been above that. So if it wanted to get there, we would have stopped out, right? The resistance on the daily was right at 57. If it wanted to pop through 57, okay, we would have just stopped out. But it didn't, And that was the only thing that we missed was our entry, or the second entry. But again, we didn't really get that opportunity to get it. And the last rule, if we only get one entry, we go for 0.5R. So half of $25 is $12.50. We ended up making $13.70. So, I mean, textbook trade, and I'm happy with that. It was really the only one that kind of presented itself to us today, and so that was the only one that we ended up with. Hopefully, we can start getting more opportunities. Maybe even as we get a little bit more confident with these, we can really start to throw in some long trades. But I didn't really see too many long trades that popped out at me either. A lot of those were lower floats, so that is what it is as well. What did you do to your scanner? What do you mean, what did I do? I didn't do anything. No, went and dressed my little one. Gotcha. It's all good. I wouldn't have gotten RDOS myself. The volume just isn't very good. Are you asking why there's really nothing on the scanners? I went into menu, AXRX. I've played that before. Maybe not. Maybe it was something that's similar. AXRX. Or AKRX. There it is. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I've played this before. Yeah, I think I played this one to the long side, and it burnt me. Actually, now I'm curious. Give me one sec. Just got an email that I wasn't expecting. Cool. I had asked, I sent an email to CMEG asking about the DOS replay feature that DOS is coming out with. Apparently it's still in beta testing, but they are working on getting it available to CMEG customers, so that's good. They pretty much just said that we'll notify our clients when it becomes available. So cool. Good to know. That'll definitely be worth the wait, especially because TOS is like going through some interesting times right now. I'm trying to find... Kevin, are you in here by chance? Kevin, the winner of the TraderSync Journal giveaway from Friday night. I thought you had messaged me on Discord, but maybe not. All right. So I thought I had responded to him, but apparently I did not. So I feel bad now. Left him kind of... Oh, there you are. What's up, Kevin? I just responded to your email. I had the stream closed for a second there. Yeah, just go read the email. I just sent it to you. My bad for totally... I could have swore that I had responded to that email. I'm wondering if I just didn't hit send, but I didn't see a draft or anything either, so it's a little confusing. But it'll, because I had messaged the guy from TraderSync to let him know that you had signed up so that he could activate the pro account for you. And he had said that you hadn't signed up yet. So I was like, wait a minute. Because I had thought that you emailed me saying that you did sign up. So I relayed your email address and everything else that he needed to know. And he was like, nope, he didn't sign up yet. And I was like, huh. So, yeah, in the email, I was just telling you, just go to tradersync.com and make the free account using your email address. And I'll let him know that you did that. So once you do that, let me know. Once you do. Once you do sign up with the free account, let me know, and I will let him know, and then hopefully he can have that done by end of day. What happened? Did you drop something? Oh, you're so dirty, dogs. Uh-oh. Did you drop some water? It's okay. It's okay. So we're going to go upstairs in a second. We're going to go upstairs in a second. Alrighty. What's going on? VXRT. Alright. Nothing is popping off on the scanner, so looks like we might be calling it. Anybody have any questions or comments, concerns, any good stuff? I will link the Discord again. Feel free to jump in there. I'll be in there the rest of the day. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. Helps the channel grow by hitting the like button, the subscribe button, all that good stuff. And I put my video out for the TAL trade a little bit later, once he goes down for his nap. I'll be doing my editing myself again this week. So last week, if you didn't notice, some things kind of changed as far as the editing goes. That's because I had a marketing group kind of reach out to me saying, hey, we'll do your editing for a week, kind of to say, hey, we'd like to get your business. But as much as it was nice to have them do that, they weren't really doing anything too special to the videos. Nothing that if I had more time, I could probably do myself. And they wanted a little bit too much as far as payment goes. Can you get it? Well, what are you looking for? There's nothing there. So I decided to just tell them sorry. I tried to work something out with them, but they didn't seem too interested. So it'll be back to me. And it was nice, though, not having just literally hitting end stream and then just sending them the footage, making a little intro, outro type thing, and then sending them the footage, and they just kind of do it, and I just wait for them to be finished, and I make a thumbnail, and we're good to go. But honestly, it doesn't bother me too much. I like making the videos and editing and all that. I like learning the new stuff. So now I kind of have stuff that they were doing that I might try to figure out how to do myself, just to kind of add it in there. And yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. So Jeff, see you at the gym. I am actually going to be working out today as well. Speaking of which, I'm preparing this week to start the old keto diet next week. I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I've never been someone to really get into one of those types of diets. I was always just I would eat if it fits your macros type person. But I really started kind of reading into it a little bit, and some of the benefits there are pretty nice, and I'm starting to get old, and I'm starting to feel it. So I'm going to give it a try, see what happens. And a lot of the stuff that you can eat on keto is pretty much what I eat anyway. The biggest part for me will be stuff like this, just cutting out sugars and like just snack foods and carbs. Like sweets are my big thing with the carbohydrates. So that'll really be my testament to if I succeed. But I'm starting to realize that I can be pretty disciplined if I put my mind to it. And a lot of that has to do with trading. I realize that I'm not here FOMOing in the trades every single day. I'm very disciplined with it. And I shouldn't treat my body any differently than I'm treating my brokerage account, right? That's just money. My body is something that I need. Money I do not need. So we're gonna get into that next week. Maybe I'll kind of give you guys daily updates and stuff if you guys are interested. Hopefully, you'll be able to start to see it maybe over the course of the next couple months. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So again, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.